Next is from Luke Smith from Australia. The subject is AEW booking. Hey guys, I'm not sure if you've read it, but it was reported. Did you know the story, Joe? I'm going to read the story. Tell me if you know this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've read it, but it was reported that Sammy Guevara is heat with AEW officials for not going along with plans for him to do an angle on Impact. Wrestling Inc. also reported he did not fly to Nashville the day before the taping scheduled, rescheduled himself to arrive in Nashville just a few hours before the tapings would begin, and was talking with Impact officials trying to change the original plans. Ever since AEW started, all the wrestlers on their roster gloat and brag about how great it is, how much freedom they have, and how they write all their own angles and lines. My question to you guys is there such a thing as AEW giving the wrestlers too much freedom and it backfiring? WWE is mostly at the opposite end of that spectrum. Most of the time, they're too scripted. I can understand the top guys like Jericho writing his own stuff, but should every wrestler on their roster be given such freedoms? I don't see it being as beneficial as they make it out to be, and I think it reflects with some of the cringeworthy stuff they put out on TV each week. Hope to finally make it on a roundtable soon. Love the content, Luke Smith. Let me start with this. This is Nick? Did you hear this story?
I haven't seen much of it. I've pretty much what you've said. The summary of it is
okay. Yeah. He was questioning their creative. He didn't want to do the stuff they wanted. He was going, "Why on earth am I doing this?"
That's what I read. I don't know if that's
okay. Then I know the story. They told him to go.
People will change the narrative about people.
They told him to go home.
Yeah,
they told him to go home.
It says actually,
I take all this shit with a pinch of salt. Honestly,
it says he flew there, and actually,
this is very simple. The kid is not over enough to do this. Period. This is the end of the story. I don't care. And the thing is, like, you want to say this in the era of social media where this kid's got fans. He's a good performer. The dirt sheet guys like him and something, but he's not over enough to do this. You just said that there's unwritten rules in professional wrestling because professional wrestling does not have a rule book. There's never been a book that, like, there's guidelines and regulations and rules to follow in professional wrestling. It's a carny-generated industry, which basically we work on the successful things that have been done in the past, and we continue those principles like moving forward. And the one thing that has always been very consistent in this business is you got to be a lot more over to do stuff like this to have stroke.
Right.
He did not have any stroke.
It's pretty much
stroke in this, right?
It's pretty much the only thing that will forever be the constant in the business, no matter how refined or unrefined it may be. It's always going to be, hey, if you, it's basically that you have to have leverage. If you have enough money where you go, I don't need this, or if you have somewhere else to go, But again, look, I fear that these sorts of things get taken out of context a lot, and suddenly it go. And I'm not suggesting that this is what happened, but it's like I sometimes, these things, because again, I've been on the receiving end of this, where it's like having a discussion about it and going like, are you sure this is the right way to go? What about it? Suddenly turns into he refused to do it. He, wanted to change stuff, and look, we talked about this with when Bennett was on. Isn't this exactly what I was talking about when this guy is suggesting that too much freedom can be a bad thing? And I'm not saying that that's the case at AEW, but I have observed things in all of the business that to me are like, that's a reason why there's producers. That's a reason why there's agents, because it's, first of all, it's not always your night,
This is a problem with this kid. I like the kid's talent. I just heard too many stories, but this is not the first time that this kid has had problems. I know he had that Aero Lucha thing that they were doing in that Conan and the Harris brothers
Nashville
and
or
stuff,
something,
and then MVP. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bro, very similar story of not wanting to do what they were telling him in an angle and stuff. Everything, he don't want to do it here. He had the issue that they used the comments he made about Sasha Banks years ago. Yeah. They used that against him to put him on probation. And he threw the chair at Matt Hardy like in a very unprofessional way and busted the guy's head open.
All those things like that was the one.
You're too young in this business. You're very talented, dude. Play by the rules that are the culture that you're involved in. You don't bring your rules into this.
Right.
There are rules that if you want to be successful in this business, there's just ways you have to conduct yourself to be able to get the opportunity to make the big money.
Taz said to me once at TNA, which I always remembered, and and it was so simple. He goes, hey, sometimes you're the hammer and sometimes you're the nail. Mm-hmm. And it was like, and I've used that many times since then. I don't want any heat with Taz for stealing it. But I've said that, sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail, sometimes it's not your night. And, if you're serving a larger purpose, then, hey, like, if you're good enough, you'll recover from it, even if you don't think this is particularly great on this night. I will say this. I won't say who, but I have friends in virtually every major company in the business, right? And obviously we live not far from Nashville, so often when the guys come to tape Impact, some of them come to the house, or we go hang out, whatever. So I got a few very good buddies who work there, and the word was that some of the AEW guys that had been showing up there had a little bit of an attitude about them. That was kind of the overall word.
Unwarranted, kind of like you think.
I'm not into all that, but it's interesting because and I'm only bringing that up because it kind of tracks with what I'm hearing about this thing. That this sort of, perhaps a little bit big.
Flippant attitude.
A little bit too big for the britches.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Disco, do you think it's a possibility that some of the issues Sammy Guevara is having now is because he was under Conan's learning tree in AAA, maybe?
Absolutely. No, Conan, no. I just, bro, this kid's got...
Do you think?
I know a lot of people that know that.
Conan isn't doing the show this week.
Yeah.
Maybe I know a lot of people that know this kid and are friendly with him.
Yeah,
he did.
And it's disappointing to them.
He did our 70th anniversary pay-per-view. We I mean he
just hate here, bro. It's like there's so much money being given out right now, and the top spots are few and far between. So it's like you don't want to jeopardize during a period of time where professional wrestling is not that popular. Guys are making exorbitant amounts of money compared to what compared to what we're drawing, right? And to risk that at this time, bro, there's two companies to work for: the WWE system and the AEW system.
Hold on,
to get paid. What do I NW? I'm just saying, if you want to make $1 million eventually, or these are the two places right now based on their TV deals, right? There's other companies you can work and make good money, but risking your spot on one of the companies where you can end up making 6 and 7 figures is asinine. Just do what they're telling you. Do what the guy wants. Well, he's paying him handsome just to show. Go ahead.
Take it from a guy who got signed very young, didn't know what he was doing. Was able to progress. Move up the ladder both monetarily and spot on the card. And I made a lot of mistakes, and I made some enemies too, and I'm still paying for it now. But it was that I didn't know any better. The difference is you have to have the self-awareness to go, okay, now I can look back at it and go, oof, I can't believe I thought that. I can't believe I said that. And for the most part, I've owned it and said, hey, look, I was a dumb kid. I didn't know what I was doing. I was green. I had an attitude, and I thought I was indestructible.
How old are you now?
34.
34.
But and I'm glad that you said this because I get this a lot. Oh, why didn't you go to AEW? Why don't you go to NXT? Because I have a good gig now. I make good money, and you don't walk away from the table when it's paying out.